Welcome back, Talk family, and thank you so much for joining me on another episode of Talk the Talk. My name is 𝐤𝐥𝐞𝐬, and I'm your host for today. And joining me is Mandy Venter, and she's the commercial sales manager at Williams Hunt Isuzu Pretoria. Now, I've been working with Dion van Wyk for the past couple of weeks. What a champion for women empowerment, and he has absolutely nominated and championed and been the catalyst for empowerment when it comes to Mandy. He selected her to be here today, and he had so much to say about her character and her resilience. Mandy is a tough, independent and authentic woman who believes she can accomplish anything she puts her mind and heart into. And I guess when you're working with commercial and trucks and heavy duty vehicles, you need to have that resilience and grit. She is a very goal-oriented person who genuinely feels that whatever life leads you to, or it's a step forward, as turning back is absolutely not her option. She puts her all into everything she does, and she does it with absolute passion. Now, I've said the word absolute so many times in this introduction, but it is because I feel that this woman is an extreme absolute in everything that she does. She is a powerhouse, and she's beautiful as well. You're going to see just now. So without further ado, let's welcome Mandy. And as always, this interview is proudly brought to you by Seriti Solutions, MFC, and 𝐬𝐻 by Nedbank. Hello, Mandy.
Hi, 𝐤𝐸.
Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence, your gorgeousness, your beauty. I'm sorry, I'm going to make you blush now, but
Yeah.
It's so true. You're so lovely. And all the women in the motoring trade, they are so beautiful, they're so lovely, and it's just testament to, just to the trade itself, saying that you don't have to look like a man and act like a man to make it, because you are in commercial and you're a manager.
Thanks, 𝐤𝐸.
So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And I know you were recently nominated for the Motoring Woman of the Year Awards, and we are actually so excited about tapping into the industry of commercial as well. So it's a big part of motoring. So welcome, you've just initiated that process.
Thank you, 𝐤𝐸. I'm so happy to be a part of that. I think starting in the commercial industry wasn't what every girl set her heart out to be one day, and I think something about the motor industry always enticed me, and I was given an opportunity about 9 years ago, and I ran with it. And obviously people in your life, people in your career play a huge part in whether you're going to be successful or not. But I can remember one of the first driving forces was the whispers behind the doors, oh, she'll never make it. She's not cut out for this business. And I just decided at that moment that I've been given an opportunity. I came from a small town, East London. I'm here up in Joburg.
It's one of my favorite towns.
It's lovely.
Wow, I love it there.
Growing up there, believe keeps you humble.
I'm retiring there.
Come to a big city, and so I moved up here to make a difference, and I just took that energy and I went for it.
Oh, and that is amazing. So you started off your trade in the trade at East London?
No, so I came up fresh.
Just take us through a brief journey.
So I finished my degree in a Bachelor of Business Administration, and was looking for an opportunity down in East London, and the pace down there was a lot slower. Obviously, you think once you've got a degree you're going to go into this highfalutin position, and it doesn't work like that. So I ended up in sales of actually PABX systems, and
wow,
and it just didn't grab me, and I knew that there was more for me in this life, and I took the chance and I moved up to Joburg, and it took me about a year to find my dream job, which I didn't know was my dream job, which was in commercial, Isuzu. And I got given the opportunity about a year in while I was here, just as a salesperson, and I took it with both hands. Didn't want to go back. You know, everyone says you're not going to make it, you're going to go back to East London, your family says come home, and I just knew that there was a reason that I needed to be here, and I needed to just switch off all the negative and put that energy into making something of my life.
Wow, wow. What a journey, but you are obviously so empowered, and you need to have so much of confidence, as I said earlier on, in the trade, and we're obviously providing this platform to empower women in the motoring trade, empower, uplift, recognize, so that we can be there to support each other. How do you feel about this?
Tesh, you know, this is, like I said earlier, this is not a norm for us, and hearing about what you've done and established and this initiative that you took to set up this platform, it's very inspirational to me, and I'm so grateful to be a part of it, and that's probably why I accepted the invite, because it was nerve-wracking, and I think, yeah, I think having a platform where women all in the same sort of industry who can network, build on relationships, feed off of each other's energy, and in a safe zone. I think that is what really makes this platform inspirational, and a tool that we can use as women in the industry.
Absolutely,
you know,
absolutely.
To grow one another.
Yeah, and I think, you know, your success will definitely be determined by your confidence and your fortitude, but most importantly, by sisterhood.
Correct.
Because we can only understand each other, and it's so important for us to just be there as pillars for each other, and that is why you asked me earlier on off air what motivated you and how did you have the strength. It's because I knew that I was alone, you know, when I started off as a journalist, female journalist. I did not know where to go, who to mentor me, and I knew that there were many women in the industry that were in certain positions, sales managers, sales executives, FNIs, that there's plenty of them, but they're so isolated in their little corners. I thought, okay, maybe if I can just bring them all together, and that would become my strength, and that's how it started. So, and now I have thousands of women. There's 83,000 women in the motoring trade, and I think I have at least about 40,000 of that women following me. So it's been an amazing ride.
The ride of success, as
thank you, because now I have you, and you might just become the face of our company. Okay, you're so beautiful. What do you love most? But jokes aside, that's what you represent. Not just beauty, but beauty and brains with grit and resilience. Because being in the field that you are in, this is not passengers. I've never had someone from commercial here, and I want to prove that we're not just making it in motorsports or in passenger vehicles, but we can do it in commercial, just being the way you are. So it's a great thing that we're starting. Thanks. What do you love most, though, about representing Isuzu, the brand?
Tesh, I think Isuzu is very in tune with the market trends. They're always looking as what they can do to be the leaders. The company is well structured. We've got people in every position. So if you need that support, you know, it's there. It's not only about your initial purchase or trying to get a client for now. It's for the long run. And they really do. There are senior people that have been within the company, that have helped grow the company, that can mentor young people in the business, and also assist, you know, share their knowledge down into the staff, so that we can keep the Isuzu brand going. And I think that's what I love about Isuzu, is they know what they're good at in the market. We know where our LCV, trends in. We're not trying to get into every market share. We know what our market is, and that's where we keep our energy focused. So we're not scrambled. I think 𝐬𝐶's got a good focus, and we keep bettering where we are good, or where we are
Absolutely,
the best.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And as an individual, Mandy, what is your management style?
Dish, I think in one word I could sum it up as mother hen. Everything that I can do, I expect my sales team and my staff to be able to do. So I don't whip, from the back. I'm leading from the front.
Right.
I'm active in sales. I'm active in, calling up a customer and hearing what the market's like at the moment, instead of saying, hey, but why aren't you guys selling? I will go out and put myself there and say, listen, what is out there? What is going on in the marketplace? So I believe also in trying to create loyalty within your team and your staff. I always try and be there for them. They must know that they can come to me. We can talk about what's on their mind, and not only have them support me in their roles, but also support them.
Yeah.
And when I go back to mother hen, it's like no one must touch with, or no one must mess with my staff. I will protect them.
Right.
And I think a lot of that is lost in the trade.
It's so fast-paced.
It's fast-paced. People come, people go.
Yeah.
And people are losing, you become a number.
Yeah.
Where
Humanity.
I don't want that approach. I want my staff to know that they're important to the business, they're important to me. And without them, we're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And if you build a team, especially in commercial, you've got to be experienced. You've got to know your spec. You've got to know what you're up against, your competitor. It's a far more detailed application than a normal passenger sale, which is an emotional buy. So for us, we're talking numbers, we're talking spec and product, the benefit of the product in terms of cost saving.
Right.
It's a totally different market that you enter, so you have to know what you're talking about.
Absolutely. Mandy, you obviously deal with a lot of people and people that report to you, and sometimes they are going through emotional problems and issues. How important do you think a healthy mental state of mind is in the workplace?
Yeah, that goes without saying. We're all human. We all have emotions. Obviously, when you're in management, you need to be put together most of the time. But that goes
most
back...
of the time.
Most of the time. But that goes back to, where I said I try to create an environment of loyalty and honesty within my team. And we feed off of each other's energy. So, you're not perfect. Some days you're really down and out, and your team member will be, hey, I've got the energy. So it's very important. And I always say to myself, you know what, take half an hour, take an hour, and get over it. Get over yourself, get over this. Don't ever respond in anger. Things can happen. I mean, it's not a perfect world.
Yeah.
The motor industry is very intensive. You're always up against someone who knows more than you, or who will doubt your knowledge based on being a female. So I always just step out of it, rethink or think, get my facts in place, and approach a situation. But the energy that I get from my team and my superiors, Dion and senior management, you've got to have, I would say, a foundation in your home life, a life partner that can encourage you to grow. You've got to have mentors within your work environment that you can look up to, that can assist you out of those moments. And if my sales guys are down, then don't phone customers that day. Take the time and just regroup yourself. Find your balance, find your center, and then move on. Because there's nothing worse than listening to a call with a salesperson and a customer, and there's just no energy on that call.
Yeah, they pick it up.
It's so rather take them off the floor or take them off the calls, and then just counsel in the proper way and try and build them up, because we as humans, it's so much easier to break people down, and it takes a lot more effort to build people up.
Absolutely.
And I just that's one of the things that I always strive to do.
So yes, Mandy, I think off air we were talking about, I've been like, so down on energy recently, and it happens to anybody. And I thought, okay, I'm done, I'm just gonna give up. And I handed over even hosting the show to one of my assistants. And I'm transparent, I'm honest about what I'm feeling, because I do not want people that are following me to think that I've got it all together and you have to be like that and the pressure's there. No, I literally had a breakdown, and I had to take 2 weeks off, and I thought I was not coming back, and then I missed it, and I realized what I was doing, and then
You're allowed
and
to.
today I'm back, and I'm like, shucks, all I needed was just some rest. I needed a break, and that's where that quote comes in. If you're tired, rest. Don't give up. So important to do that.
It is.
Yeah,
and you've got to accept that you're human. It's allowed. You're allowed to have those moments. You need to listen to your body. You need to identify what you're going through and actually step back.
Absolutely. And if your body is telling you now at the age of 40, listen, you can go ahead and go and eat all the chocolate you want to eat.
Well, you're still young, Desh. Come on.
So, you know what? We need to just give ourselves a break. We really do. Tell me, Mandy, especially being in commercial, has there been a situation where you've been faced with any like a discriminatory, situation? And how did you respond to it, if there was?
Desh, so I think for me, there's obviously a lot of moments that happen in your career that aren't the greatest in terms of discrimination towards women. But you've got to build from those, and you've got to know, you've got to build that barrier where you shield yourself so that doesn't flint. It doesn't make you flinch or anything. You just bat it off like it's water off a duck's back. So there's the normal, there's the normal situations that most women will probably be exposed to. But for me, I would say I'm constantly trying to protect my value in the trade. I'm always trying to justify that I deserve to be the commercial sales manager, that I know enough about the technicalities of the products, that I can qualify the commercial requirements from a director's office, a CEO, a transport manager. So I think it's not so much what you don't know, it's how you perceived. And I think that is where you've got to be on your top game permanently. So I can't say that it's a discriminatory situation. I think it's just a sign of the industry that it's always been led by males in that position. So there's always that subtle underlying insecurity maybe, but also your customers are not sure of you until you've proven yourself. And
that is why women often say here that I have to work twice as hard, sometimes 10 times as hard as my male counterpart to prove myself. And unfortunately, fortunately, I think for the men in our industry now, it's not their fault.
No,
it's not their fault. It's just the way which the landscape was.
Correct.
And that's changing. We're seeing the transformation.
And that's thanks to you, Desh. I mean, having this platform and giving women, just knowing that there's a group of us that are actually in this.
Well, thank you. Thanks for that validation, because I think every time I receive that validation and that the vote of confidence, it drives me to continue. So thank you for that. Any words of advice for young women that want to get into the motoring trade, and especially commercial?
So definitely,
is there a place for them?
Definitely, absolutely. Once you've broken that distrust or uncertainty from your customer, you have, as a woman, attention to detail. We are more caring. We are more approachable. So for women in the industry who would like to get into the industry, there's definitely room for them. I would just say that if you want to pursue a job, change your mindset to pursuing a career. Have people that are in your foundation, fundamentally, that can build you up, give you the strength when you're down, give you the encouragement. And then within the business that you work in, make sure that you find people that are there for the right reasons. Don't latch on to groupies. Us ladies love a little groupie. I think my advice would be to stay away from those groupies, if that's even a terminology, but focus that on...
I think groupies are actually referred to women that are fanatics or fans of singers. I could be wrong.
Sorry. You're right.
But I know exactly what you're talking about, right? Because it's a huge distraction.
It is a distraction.
If you really want to succeed, you need to stay focused.
You need to cut that out.
Absolutely.
I think a lot of women tend to become negative. We talk about the bad in our lives, and we fester that, manifest feelings, and stay away from that would be my advice, and rather focus that energy, or if you've got that downtime, on reading words of encouragement. The internet it's got so much information. When I've got some time, I'll go on and I'll search the latest ways of managing your team or getting the best performance out of people. Because COVID obviously changed a lot of people's lives and the way that business is done. So we've got to also adapt our approaches. So rather use that time to focus on growing yourself and your knowledge than allowing to get distracted by chit chat.
Absolutely. So Mandy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Desh. Thank you for having me.
Really, really appreciate it. And I am so grateful once again that you accepted the nomination and that you recognize that this is not a competition. This is a movement. It's a platform to uplift, to empower, to educate women, not just in our trade, but beyond. And we thank you for using your voice in our platform.
Oh, thank you very much, Desh. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. One more question. Do you use those shoes for school, for work?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So you see, you can do that. You can wear this. Can we see your?
You can wear
okay, there we go. You can wear this even in commercial.
Trousers, high heels. You'll
there we go.
There's no skirts.
Absolutely, nothing is going to stop you from being a diva, even in the motoring trade. Not that she's a diva, but yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Desh.
Okay.
Viewers, we would like to thank you for your continued support and encourage you to like and share our content. Our non-profit companies, the Motoring Woman of the Year Awards, powered by MFC and 𝐬𝐿 by Nedbank, and the Talk Studios, sponsored by Sariti Solutions and 𝐬𝐿 by Nedbank, are platforms aimed at empowering, uplifting, and celebrating the women of motoring South Africa. We are not just telling stories, we are changing lives. If you are searching for a new or pre-owned vehicle, please visit www.auto.𝐬𝐿.africa. We have a wide range of vehicles on sale for you to choose from, and we only advertise on behalf of reliable and trustworthy MFC accredited dealerships. This car listing portal is user-friendly, and you can also find vehicle reviews, car maintenance tips, and automotive advice, all courtesy of Talk the Talk Studios.
Ladies and gentlemen, in light of everything that we discussed, I just picked up a quote that I'd like to read to you, and something that I think is extremely representative of Mandy. It says, "Go confidently in the direction of your dreams, and confidence is contagious. Catch it and spread it." Ladies, it's so important for you to note that what you choose to focus on is within your control. And I think we talked about that. You know, Mandy talked about focus. So while you may not be able to control external events, you can control your response to them. By consciously choosing to focus on the good in your life and in the world, you can cultivate a more positive mindset and improve the quality of your life. What you choose to focus on determines the quality of your life. And with that, I'd like to remind you that the question should never be who's going to let me. It should always be who's going to stop me.